he will not be stopped. He will not be silenced by these that have tried to silence them in the Middle East. So I saw these massive events being planned by God and His Holy Spirit. This preservation and the time for it is extended into the Middle East, and especially for God's people in Iran. Hear me, this is a prophetic thing. Where a massive shaking is going to take place in Iran. Now it may sound obvious. No. This is something God ordained. This is not something Obama ordained. This is not something America ordained. This is something God has ordained. A massive shaking in Iran, which will reveal God's absolute displeasure with Iran and the pact that is presently taking place. And the result will be hundreds of thousands of Christians will be freed in Iran.
Wow. That is very hopeful.
Yes.
And you know what? It's amazing to me that, especially what he saw about Israel and the United States of America, not only in the prophecies we're looking at now, but in other prophecies. February 22nd, 2014, especially, he saw that. And so, seeing the shaking, and, we saw uprisings. Obviously, there was one in 2009. There was another one in 2019 and in 2022. Each time they've gained momentum. But the difference now is that last year with Operation Rising Lion and the intervention of America to take out the nuclear facilities has weakened the regime enough that the people feel confident that they can do something. Now, we're in the middle of it now. As of now, it's Wednesday. By the time you watch this broadcast, because we pre-record but we post the same day, by the time you're watching this broadcast, it'll be in the afternoon on Wednesday, January 14th. So we are in the middle. We haven't heard, we're hearing little whispers of things. We're starting to see people become discouraged, including myself, as we see more and more videos coming out of Iran of the slaughter of mostly young people. And, I've been saying this for a while now, with the social media and the ability to share things, we as a whole, everywhere in the world who have access to that, are seeing things we would never have seen before. It would have been limited, whereas now it's constant. And so we are in the fog of war, and we have to wait for the moment. So in anticipation of this, it is very hopeful hearing that prophecy again, the one we just played you in June of 2015, because he was, especially because God is saying, this is not Obama ordained. Fine, we're a long way past Obama now, but that influence and the damage that was done in regards to this is still there. But then saying it's not America ordained. You have so many voices right now shouting on the left and the right. Either they're ignoring the situation, which I think is terrible hypocrisy, but also you have people who have legitimate concerns, and how can they intervene and help where it will be effective and not cause other problems? We're seeing Qatar, Saudi Arabia, places like that who, I don't know how keen they actually, they say things, but I don't know how keen they actually are for that regime to fall, because it actually, if Iran did well, it would be a threat, especially to Saudi Arabia and countries like that. So it is, again, a very difficult moment we're in today, but we don't know what might happen tonight. The way that they handled Iran last year, it was, everybody thought nothing was going to happen. The next thing, boom, it happened. It was taken care of. I personally feel that I wish Trump had let Israel finish the job and go in and take Khamenei at that moment. But we also don't know what they know. And that's really important too, because when the president and his administration, as well as Netanyahu and Israel and their intelligence, they are not going to want to cause bigger problems. They're not going to want to endanger their soldiers or civilians that are on the ground or anything, if it's not going to be effective. They need what they do next to actually be effective. They don't want it to cause other problems. So you're hearing lots of voices everywhere. There's lots of confusion. And so being able to look at that prophecy and seeing my dad seeing the shaking, a massive shaking in Iran, which will reveal God's absolute displeasure with Iran and the pact being about the nuclear. Nuclear is not on the table anymore. America took care of that with Israel, again, with Israel. And so the fact that he saw so many things that are aligning right now, that's incredible on its own. But also hopeful when people are beginning to lose hope as the clock ticks. And we're wondering, we hope they aren't telling the Iranian people to go out and protest when they're not going to be able to do anything to help them. It would have been better. I want to hear back from you on this, Christy, but it would have been better perhaps if they had not said anything than to encourage people to go into the street if they're not going to act. But I think they are well aware of that. Mm. But I would like to hear what you think, Christy.
I mean, we were talking about it a little bit off air. You know, these people are going in and risking their lives to fight for freedom. And if the nation, like the world's biggest superpower, is saying, go out, protest, we're coming, we're going to help you, that would embolden people, you know, especially given the events of last year, that will embolden people to go out and to put their lives on the line, expecting help to come. And that is something that we're waiting for, Donna. We're waiting to see what President Trump is going to do. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with all these varying nations, because at the end of the day, we can't just watch the Iranian people being slaughtered en masse like this and have nobody step up and do anything about it. And obviously there's complexities, there's diplomatic things that have to be considered, but something that it does make me think of is it's in these moments where we see that God really has to be our refuge. And Psalm 46:1 says, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in times of trouble. And that's what we have to trust God for the people of Iran. It obviously includes America, it includes Israel, but we also have to know that God is the one who hears the cries of the oppressed. Psalm 34:17 says, the righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. We have to trust God for a miracle right now. And whether that miracle is going to come in the shape of the US coming in and changing things, whether it's going to come in the hearts of those that are on the ground in Iran that are fighting for the regime changing, I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's something where we really have to stand firm. And in these times of trouble, in these times of overwhelm, in these times of feeling despair, you know, it's like the first 2 weeks of the year and it already feels exhausting. But we're looking at this and going, well, we have to trust that we're going to see God in action here. We have to trust that we're going to see God as the refuge, God the one hearing the cries of the oppressed. We have to trust that when people cry out for freedom, God hears. When families mourn, God sees. And when nations strike, God is not distant, because we know he's a God of restoration.